I am extremely excited about today's guest. We talk a lot on this show about iconic parts of Cincinnati, particularly businesses. There's so many long-running historical elements, things that you count on being staples of this city. We are back on the nonprofit scene today. This is one of the most recognizable in the city. You may not even realize that it's a nonprofit organization. Talking about Findlay Market, which, knowing that President and CEO Kelly Lancer was going to be a guest on the show, I had the pleasure of taking a walk around there just yesterday. It's a picture I took. That's a picture-perfect day yesterday. Checking out the market, how things are looking there. Iced coffee from Urbana Cafe was something I got. I got some really good cookies from Maverick Chocolate. I think that Findlay Market is one of Cincinnati's real treasures. That's not exactly a piping hot take. There has been a real effort to make it more open and enticing to people over the 20 years that I've lived here. There's been a number of developments going on, but going back as far as the historical nature of Findlay Market, Cincinnati had 9 public markets going back about 150 years. Findlay Market is the only one of those that is still around. That is an old picture there, but if that that pavilion, that should look familiar. It was originally built in the 1800s as an open-sided pavilion, and the central tower was added about 50 years later. It was enclosed after a while because of concerns about an open-air market being exposed to early 1900s urban pollution, which, if we're being honest with ourselves, early 1900s urban pollution was really peak urban pollution. We were really churning it out back then. So they had concerns about all that being exposed to the air. There were elements of it enclosed. That enclosure of the market also brought indoor plumbing and refrigeration options in-house instead of sending items that needed to be kept cool to the cellars under the breweries nearby, which I got to say, there was a certain poetry to that. Quiz time. What American company pioneered the use of artificial cooling and insulated rail cars to keep their sudsy product cold for nationwide distribution? The answer is Adolphus Busch of Anheuser-Busch. He also used pasteurization to keep his beer fresh. That's a poetical quiz time for a future Big Bite, but the idea that they're keeping things cold in brewery cellars, I thought was interesting. Findlay Market's website has a really good history of James Findlay on it, whom the market is named after. He was a Cincinnati mayor, and then after that, he fought in the War of 1812. He was at one point held prisoner by Great Britain. He was eventually elected to Congress. Both he and his wife passed away before Findlay Market really opened, but that land would eventually be the market site. It was donated to the city of Cincinnati specifically for a market to remember General Findlay's accomplishments. So what was the thing that did those 8 other public markets in that kept Findlay Market the only one going today? Take a look.
High above the Ohio River, Cincinnati once had a view unlike any other, thanks to a remarkable system of inclined plane railroads that lifted entire neighborhoods into the sky. In the 1800s, the city's basin was crowded, polluted, and increasingly undesirable, and people were eager to move to cleaner, more spacious suburbs above the valley. Between 1872 and 1894, Cincinnati built 5 inclined plane railways to give residents easy access to Mount Auburn, Price Hill, Bellevue Hill, and Fairview. For 75 years, the railways carried foot riders, horse-drawn wagons, streetcars, some freight, and later buses. The most famous, the Mount Adams Incline, rose 312 feet and became a tourist attraction in its own right. Riders described the ascent as if the city were dropping away, revealing a breathtaking panorama of Cincinnati and the river below. By the mid-20th century, the crumbling inclines were becoming a nuisance to traffic as personal.
Those inclined railroads made it so workers didn't have to live in the city near the river, and that brought about neighborhood business districts that had their own grocery stores. Do we not think it would have been cool to figure out a way to get streetcar up the hill to Clifton and UC like that video was showing at the incline? I think that's cool, and we should probably put some more thought into that. Also at this point, at-home refrigeration started to be more of a thing as well, and of course, the invention of the car changed the way people lived and worked and got food. Findlay Market was added to the National Register of Historic Places in the early 1970s, and Over the Rhine itself became a National Historic District in the 1980s. For the last 20 years, the Corporation for Findlay Market has been the City of Cincinnati's official preferred developer for the properties all around the market. Its job is to run the market and also grow sales and profitability for the merchants set up inside and in the surrounding district. These days, Findlay Market has more than 36 indoor merchants selling any variety of meat and cheese and spices and oil and seafood and more. The Findlay Market shopping app had a relaunch in 2022, offering both pickup and delivery options. And that is all in keeping with Findlay Market's mission to make sure people of all socioeconomic backgrounds are able to shop there. There have been more than 100 Findlay Market opening day parades, ground zero for one of the biggest annual events in Cincinnati history. Findlay Market also has programs like Findlay Kitchen, the Findlay Launch Storefront Accelerator Program, and more. Findlay Market have a lot going on, attracting people from all over the city every day.